get into it. Okay. Alright, hi you guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am Carmisha Lachey, but in all seriousness, I'm Carmisha, and I decided to do a sit-down video and discuss why I am having weight loss surgery. So I had to put some notes on my phone because my hands ashy. Probably. Whatever. So I put some notes on my phone so that I don't start to mumble or ramble or forget what I want to talk about. So you will see me looking down at my phone. I kind of had to, write down key points so that this video is not unnecessarily long, because I don't like to talk to people for a long time. And I know a lot of people don't want to sit and listen to somebody talk. So, let's get right into it. Just making sure my hair right or whatever. But anyway, let's get right into it. So, of course, the first question, and I asked myself these questions. These are my most frequently asked questions during my process of having surgery. So I feel like if I sat down and did a Q&A type thing, then I won't have to answer these questions anymore. Even though I know I will. If you know me, you better come watch this video. Anyway, so why weight loss surgery for the first question? And I decided to have weight loss surgery because I have struggled with my weight for the last 20 years of my life. Not to tell my age, but yeah. So it was a idea that I have been sitting on for a while, and I finally made the decision possibly last year, I think. This has been a year of thinking, because I didn't want to have an invasive surgery. I didn't like the idea of surgery. Sorry, a hiccup was trying to come out. I didn't want to have surgery. I didn't like the idea of being in pain for, and I just thought I could do it on my own. I really thought, and I really, really tried to do it on my own. I've had several gym memberships. I've done the diets. I've done the workouts. I've done it all. To date back a little bit, I've really, really started to put on weight with my birth control. And I had gotten to a point where I was just I don't even recognize myself anymore. Looking in the mirror, I was just like, girl, that's you. So that, along with other things, just noticing physical changes, shortness of breath with mobility, how much harder it was for me to get around and do simple tasks like going up a flight of stairs or whatever. I'm a medical assistant, so if you're familiar with medical assistants, you know that we do a lot of walking back and forth. So I was rooming patients and doing all those things in a very, very busy OB practice, OBGYN practice, and noticing I'm a little bit out of breath. I can't even do circles around this place without just being exhausted, or my knees hurting, or standing for a long time and my hips were hurt terribly. No, I have to do something, and I have to do it right now. So I talked to my primary care physician about it first, and she was just like, girl, I had it done. Like, I don't even remember or if she even told me how long ago it had been. But she's like, yeah, I had it done, and I know an excellent surgeon if you would like me to refer you to have a consultation. And I was like, bet, let's do it. Period. Sent me to him. I went and talked to him, chit chat about it, talked about how it would be paid for, whether by insurance or if I had to pay out of pocket, what my options were, all that good stuff. So, yeah, it was just a necessary tool for me to do. My doctors were on board with it. So, I decided that, boom, I'm going to have the gastric sleeve. Period. I don't want to bypass. I don't want to do no switch. Sleeve is best for me. What helped me pick the sleeve? Mostly like reviews from other people and like how the surgery itself, the recovery, what the anatomy would look like after. I just picked the sleeve. It wasn't a lot that went into that, and me and my surgeon just were like, this is good for you, and I was like, I agree. So yeah, it was a necessary tool. The time frame was right. Like, I had sat on it for a year, and I really allowed myself to, and then I had started a new job, so I had to make sure, like, this year I had to save up my PTO if I'm going to have surgery next year, and I need to make sure, like, all my eggs are in a basket or all my ducks are in a row, however that goes. But, yeah, so the time frame was right. I just cosmetically wanted to look different. I wanted to look good in my clothes, and I wanted it to be done quick. Like, honestly, with the weight that I am now, I felt like if I were to try to do it on my own, it would be the same as it's been for the past 7 years, really. Like, me going to the gym, stopping, starting a diet, stopping, starting a new lifestyle, stopping. And I really wasn't trying to do that anymore. Like, I wanted to change now, and this was the best option for me, or so I felt. When is my surgery? My surgery is March the 8th, which is 5 days from the day I'm filming this video. So, in 5 days from this day, I will be in surgery. Hopefully, have a successful surgery, and that be that. How long was the prep? The prep for this surgery was 6 months. So you have to do 6 months of pre-op visits, I guess you could call them, with the surgeon. And basically at each visit, he answers or she answers, if you had a woman doctor, any of your questions, and you'll talk about what you need to do leading up to the surgery, like labs and stuff like that. Like, it's almost like an OB visit. Like, if you ever had kids and you gotta go to the doctor like every month and then every 2 weeks and then every week, and you just go in there and get your vitals done and like listen to the baby, that's it. Except for you don't get no baby at the end of this. So you just go to the doctor, get your vitals done, answer a few questions, ask a few questions, and leave. You have to do that every month consecutively for 6 months. Now, my process has been 5 months only because I had talked to my primary care physician about my weight loss process, and however she did her progress note or visit note, he was able to use that as my first month, technically. So it was 5 months for me, but it's generally 6 months. Unless you go to Mexico, because I hear that people go to Mexico and you can just have a gastric sleeve done like that. Like, you don't even got to do no back and forth. You just go to Mexico, get it done, and come back. Like, that wasn't for me, but it may be for somebody else. I don't know. Pre-op diet. let me tell y'all. So for 14 days, this is specific to my surgeon. I don't know how everybody else does it. It may be different for somebody who's already had it done or somebody who's thinking about having it done. This is specific to my surgeon. I have currently doing a 14-day full liquid diet. Yes, full liquids. No solid food except, well, the only thing that's like really solid is yogurt and jello. So let me actually read y'all a couple things off the list. Well, I'll just read all of them. So the pre-op diet is for 14 days and it's 800 calories a day, and or less, and 60 to 80 grams of protein every day. Seasonings and sugar substitutes are okay. So you can have black coffee or black tea, broth or bouillon cubes to make broth, Crystal Light, hot Hint water. I don't know if it's Hint water or Hint water, but it's like a flavored water. I tried it. It wasn't for me. You can have Jello, sugar-free, no red, nothing with red dye in it. Herbal tea, Kool-Aid, sugar-free lemonade, 0-calorie Gatorade or Propel, Greek yogurt with low sugar and no fruit or added toppings, low-fat cream soup, so like tomato or cream of chicken or cream of celery. Like those are the 3 I've been eating. Take away the tomato because it was disgusting. The tomato soup, no ma'am. No ma'am. It tasted like hind parts. Like, I don't know what that tastes like, but if I had to guess, it would be like tomato soup. Moving on. Miso soup, I haven't tried that, but it's like a Japanese soup, I think. It's some kind of Asian cuisine. I don't know. Ice pops, like popsicles, sugar-free pudding, and protein shakes. And my favorite protein shakes are the Fairlife. They taste just like ice cream to me. And so I have been loving those. I swear by them. I won't drink any other one now, which kind of sucks because I have a couple of Premier proteins left, which aren't bad. And I put those in my coffee so I can get rid of them. But the Fairlife, I could drink plain, like no problem. It's the only flavor I really don't like is the strawberry. But I've never been a strawberry milk person anyway. I thought I was going to really like it, but I don't. So that's the pre-op diet. It's 14 days. Can't cheat or you risk having your surgery canceled because the point of the diet is to shrink your liver so that they can access the stomach easily. So, like I said, I have 5 days left, so I'm like on day, I don't know. It was 14 minus 5, 9, so I'm like on day 9. And it's been a struggle, mentally a struggle, because I find that if I'm busy, I won't really think about it. But if I'm sitting, my brain is like, you need to eat something. So, not a fan of the pre-op diet, not trying to have my surgery canceled, not trying to risk something not going right during surgery. So, pre-op diet, follow it, stay to it, do the best you can. I should have got some water. All this question answering is making me a little parched. But anyway, I'm almost done. Groceries. So yeah, I went on one big grocery trip, brought all my protein shakes, except for the Fairlife. The Fairlife, the Premier Proteins they have in the grocery store, but the Fairlife, I had to get that on Amazon and Sam's Club, and then Sam's Club only had chocolate. So I just did one big grocery haul, and my husband's gonna be home with me for the first week. So if I need anything past my surgery date, I'll just send him to go get it. But doing one big grocery haul will help you tremendously because then you're not scrambling trying to find something that you can have to eat during the pre-op diet and then like, oh snap, like I gotta go to the store and there's nothing here to eat, because then you risk eating something that you shouldn't. So just do one huge grocery haul to last you the whole 14 days if your surgeon recommends 14-day full liquids. Um so what else? I'm gonna talk about a little bit what the surgery is like or what to expect. So part of the pre-op process, I had to get blood drawn. I had to see a therapist. That was gross. Okay, let me start over. Part of the pre-op process is I had to see a therapist, get labs done. I had to have the EKG that I just did today, another set of labs, and attend a boot camp. So you had to see the therapist to have a psych eval, and the therapist was really nice, and she talked about like what to expect and just handling my fears and things like that, which was great. And I actually have my own therapist, but for the psych eval, I decided to see another therapist that they recommended just because my surgeon recommended her and I wanted to make sure I was doing things right, basically. So I just did that for those purposes, but I do have my own mental health counselor, and I think that anybody, not just anybody having surgery, not just anybody that's stressed or going through things, everybody should, even if you think you're perfectly mentally healthy, get you a mental health counselor. It'll change your life. And then the boot camp is not really a boot camp. It's more like a class that you have to sit in. It was about 3 hours long, and the instructor, there was like a bariatric coordinator that spoke as well as a dietitian. The bariatric coordinator discussed all things surgery, what to expect when you arrive at the hospital, all the way till you leave. We talked about how while you're when you come out of surgery, you'll go up to the surgical inpatient floor and you have to spend the night, and you have to do a lot of walking. She talked about how you'll only be able to take sips of water. And then the dietitian comes in after and she talks about all the food, like the different phases of food that you'll be in post-op and well pre-op too, but she talked about how you'll do the pre-op diet and then the post-op clear liquids, then full liquids, then puree food, then regular food as you can tolerate it. And vitamins. So of course you have like 80% of your stomach gone, so you have to take vitamins. And I have the ProCare chewable vitamins that I got off Amazon, and then you also have to take those along with calcium citrate, which I also found on Amazon. And they give you, well, my dietitian gave me a list of recommendations that she thought I would benefit from. So I appreciated that. And then recovery, I won't talk too much about recovery because I don't know what to expect, honestly. So, I mean, they expect you to be up and moving quite a bit. Not too much, but like not lifting anything over 15 pounds, basically. Okay, so I thought my camera was gonna cut off because I was at 20 minutes. It usually stops at 20 minutes. Um, yeah, so as they expect you to be up and moving, so I don't expect to be in too much pain, but I will touch more on that post-op because I really don't know what to expect. Everybody's recovery is different, and I have not experienced it to be able to tell you. My fears, my number one fear is that I will regret having this done. My number one fear is that I will regret having this done. Um, a lot of people touch on it that have had it, and it's just a lifestyle adjustment. It's not the easy way out by far. You have to make a total lifestyle change because you can't risk stretching your staple line, like stretching your stomach out. You can't risk doing all those things by consuming the foods that you were used to eating, before you decided to make a lifestyle change. So that's my number one fear is that I will regret it. And then if you do eat bad, you risk getting really, really sick. So you risk getting like infection, and you risk getting like nausea episodes and vomiting and diarrhea. Like you risk all of those things. So I'm nervous about how I will feel after having it done. Like I just pray I don't have any feelings of regret. Another fear of mine is body dysmorphia. A lot of people touch on that as well, where they um, like really don't see the weight that they've lost. They still see themselves as overweight, and I feel like I'm not gonna have to deal with that a lot. I'm hoping that that's something, if I ever do have to deal with it, that my therapist can help me work through. So it's kind of low on the fears list, but that is one of my fears. And then other than that, just the surgery in itself. Like I'm just praying that God will let me have a nice, healthy recovery, a nice, easy surgery, that He will just guide my surgeon's hands so that I come out safe and alive and no harm done. The last thing is handling judgments. So I have had a lot of people ask me like, don't you think you could do that yourself? Or why do you think surgery is it for you? And I really don't want to answer that because then I would be becoming part of the problem. Like I just think it's just a little bit rude that after you see somebody has made such a decision for themselves to better themselves and to become healthier and to do what they need to do to survive, essentially, like why would you ask them why? Like would you ask somebody who's going to the gym every day and choosing not to have surgery? Would you ask them like why you want to be healthy? No, you wouldn't. You would not ask somebody why they want to be healthy. So don't ask people why you want to have surgery to lose weight. Don't do that. It's not nice. So I really just let it brush off my shoulders. I try to educate people as much as possible with the education that I have received thus far about it, because once I usually talk about it and explain to them the process, they usually become a little bit more understanding, which I can appreciate. So, and anybody else is kind of like none of your business. Like, if I don't really know you, then I haven't talked to you about it outside of my YouTube. So, this as much as you're going to get is what I choose to share. So, I mean, my friends, my family, they know my deeper issues that I've had with my weight, and they understand completely. Anybody else, I really don't answer a bunch of questions because my name is not Google. And as far as mental health, like I mentioned before, it's good to have a mental health counselor. It's good to, I'm sorry, I'm trying to not spin in this chair, but I just can't help it. It's good to have a mental health counselor, some kind of therapist, somebody that you can talk to you know, and get things off of your chest that you need to, and express your issues, your fears, your, you know, all that stuff. Like, it's just good to have that in your pocket, because a lot of people struggle, especially with transfer addiction. And that's when you go from like your food addiction to another addiction, like shopping, alcohol, drugs. Like, it's real out here. So having somebody that you can talk to, or some kind of entity that you can depend on, is very, very important. I'm so grateful I already have these things lined up so that post-op I can have the smoothest transition to being snatched as possible. My husband supports me fully from day one. My husband has been amazing, amazing. So I'm so grateful for him. My kids are young, so they don't really know what's happening. They know I'm eating different and I'm trying to be healthy, and that's all they care about. So, um, I think that's it. I think that's it. And hopefully I can trim this video down as much as possible. I won't have to, I'm hoping not to have to edit too much, but I'm hoping that you stayed to watch the whole thing. And if you have any questions, just drop them in the comment section down below, and I will see what I can do about that. But thank you guys so much for watching. Pray for me. I will continue to pray for you all. I hope you have a blessed evening. I'm out.